We are 1 week away from the Oscars and the Razzies. I'm going to have my predictions coming up, and we'll see how we do this year. Let's go.
Fucking go! Let's fucking go.
Whoop. Here I come. Oh, here I come.
We will watch your career with great interest.
You are such a cute.
This is where the fun begins.
It's showtime.
And here we go.
Welcome into this special edition of the Movie Geek Podcast. I'm your host, George T., and this is my Razzie and Oscar prediction show. As I've stated in the past from other episodes, I've done pretty well with this in the past, so we're going to try and do it again this year. Also, just so you guys know, hit that like, subscribe, and either comment any of the stuff that you hear today or at any other time you've heard, especially if you're new to this channel. So, Oscar time and Razzie time. So, if you have no idea what a Razzie is, it is basically the opposite of the Oscars. I have a whole episode. I will probably tag it down below. It was from season 1 about it. You don't have to listen to all of it because only the beginning part of it tells you what the Razzies are. And then I went through my predictions, which I actually did pretty well with. So, and then of course Oscar. Now, I am thinking about going live for both. The Razzies, I believe, are on YouTube Saturday night, next Saturday night, and the Oscars are next Sunday night. Now, logistically, the Oscars might be an issue, only because my little one will still be up, but I'll be able to still interact with you guys and stuff, but it'll be kind of messy until he goes to bed. It is what it is. So we're still working on that. All right, let us start with the Razzie Awards, because that's going to be first on the docket. We have, this is the 46th annual Golden Razzies for the worst pictures of the year. I do have a couple of issues with said awards here for this one. First off, Electric State being nominated for the worst picture. Honestly, I don't see it. There's so many other movies that could have been up on this list. In the Lost Lands, which has Oscar, which has worst actor and worst actresses listed there. Not listed. I didn't even know about Star Trek Section 31, so until I watched it, and yeah, okay, I mean it's a bad movie, but there's other movies in here that are pretty bad. But Electric State, I still don't see how it was that bad. I understand a lot of critics hated it and stuff, and it was the Russos, jumping into something other than Avengers. Maybe that had something to do with it. I don't honestly know. But this year's Razzies, War of the Worlds got 6 nominations. Snow White also got 6 nominations. Hurry Up Tomorrow got 5. Star Trek and Electric State both got, actually Star Trek got 5 as well, and the Electric State, which is 3. All right, let's start with worst screenplay. So your choices were The Electric State, Hurry Up Tomorrow, Snow White, Star Trek Section 31, and War of the Worlds. This one is going to go to, because I can't really give it to the same movie, and maybe I'm wrong on this, and that night of the Razzies, everything will be this one movie, but you'll understand later. Hurry Up Tomorrow, worst screenplay. The reason why I didn't choose War of the Worlds, and this is, I think anything that War of the Worlds, it was just the worst movie of the year. I honestly 100% agree with that. But the screenplay for Hurry Up Tomorrow was just awful. Snow White at least was an adaptation of Snow White. Electric State was pretty decent. Again, I still don't understand the hate for this movie. I might be in the minority. If you actually hated it, let me know why. Star Trek Section 31. I mean, it's another Star Trek movie. And again, I didn't even know it was a movie. And War of the Worlds was just adapted from H.G. Wells, so it can't really be that bad because we've already done it a million times. But Hurry Up Tomorrow is definitely one. That's my worst. That's my prediction. Worst director, we'll go with, the choices are Rich Lee for War of the Worlds, Olatunde Osuna for Star Trek, the Russo brothers for Electric State, Trey Edward Schultz for Hurry Up Tomorrow, and Mark Webb for Snow White. Well, my winner is going to be Trey Edward Schultz for Hurry Up Tomorrow. Again, bad screenplay, and the movie is trash. And again, I still don't understand the hate for Electric State. Okay, worst on-screen screen combo. We have all seven dwarfs for Snow White, James Corden and Rihanna for Smurfs, Ice Cube and his Zoom camera for the Worlds, Robert De Niro and Robert De Niro as Frank and Vito in the Alto Knights, and then The Weeknd and his Colossal Ego, Hurry Up Tomorrow. Okay, I give The Weeknd off this list. It's got to be Ice Cube and his Zoom camera. This movie is just downright trash. There's no good things to say about this movie. So Ice Cube and your Zoom camera, you win. Or at least that's what I think. We go to Worst Supporting Actor. All seven dwarfs in Snow White. Nicolas Cage in Gunslinger. Stephen Dorff for Brideheart. Greg Kinnear off the grid. And Sylvester Stallone in Olarium. Now, Stallone has gotten a few of these in the past. I'm going to give it to Stephen Dorff. That was my choice for Brideheart. Yeah, that's going to be my choice. The rest of them, yeah, okay. But honestly, I think it's Stephen Dorff. Worst Supporting Actress. We've got Anna Klumsky for Brideheart, Emma Horvath for The Strangers Chapter 2, Scarlett Rose Stallone, Gunslingers, Casey Roy for Star Trek, and then Isis Valderia for Olarium. That's my choice, is Isis. And Olarium was obviously was bad too. It should have been listed as Worst Picture over Electric State, but that's going to be my choice. Although, I know Stallone's daughter might win. They might both win. I just don't. I don't know. But those are my choices. Worst remake, ripoff, or sequel. Your choices are I Know What You Did Last Summer, Five Nights at Freddy's 2, Smurfs, Snow White, and War of the Worlds. Well, Five Nights at Freddy's wasn't that bad. I Know What You Did Last Summer was terrible. Smurfs, pretty bad. Snow White, bad. War of the Worlds takes the cake for me, so I'm going to go with War of the Worlds. Worst Actress, Ariana DeBose for Love Hurts. That movie sucked. Why isn't that on the list for Worst Picture? Mila Jovovich in The Lost Lands. Natalie Portman for Fountain of Youth. Rebel Wilson, Brideheart. I don't understand the hate for Rebel Wilson. I really don't. And Michelle Yeoh for Star Trek. My choice can be Michelle Yeoh. I could be dead wrong on this one, but because again, I don't know what the hate for Rebel Wilson is. I really don't. I think she's hilarious. Worst actor, we get Dave Bautista in The Lost Lands. This movie just was downright terrible. And again, why is it not listed for Best Picture? Ice Cube, War of the Worlds. Scott Eastwood for Alarium. Jared Leto, Tron Ares, and The Weeknd for Hurry Up Tomorrow. I'm going to choose Ice Cube because War of the Worlds is that much more terrible than anyone can even imagine. If you saw it and you liked it, God, I don't understand your taste. And of course, Jared Leto is going to get thrown in there because there's so much hate for Jared Leto. I mentioned that when Tron, when they were going to do the sequel, but they have not going to be doing any more Tron movies. And then the question became, is Jared Leto, toxic? I don't know. He wasn't that bad in it. It was the script. All right, worst picture. The Electric State, Hurry Up Tomorrow, Disney Snow White, Star Trek Section 31, and War of the Worlds. So, Electric State, definitely no. Hurry Up Tomorrow definitely could be the one. Disney Snow White was pretty bad, but none of the actors in the film got nominated. Like, Gal Gadot didn't get one, and Rachel Zegler did not get a nomination in any of the categories. So could it have been that bad? And again, you've got, the AI dwarves getting nominated. Does it really make that bad of a movie for Worst Picture? Star Trek Section 31, it's a Star Trek movie. But this remake of War of the Worlds is downright disgusting. So I'm hoping that they get all 6 of the nominations that they got nominated for, but as I put in here, I honestly think that they'll get 5 of those, and that's my choices. Like, it's difficult to predict any of the award shows, but this one, again, there's really just 2 movies on this list that are really, really terrible that should have gotten a whole lot of nominations, which was Hurry Up Tomorrow, which got 5, and War of the Worlds got 6. And there's not that many categories. So that is my predictions. We'll see how we do when we get there. Dun 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 dun. I know it's horrible sound effects, whatever. We are going to do the Oscar predictions now. We are going to start. So I am only choosing certain categories. I'm not going to do any of the ones that are like production and hair and makeup and all that other stuff, because again, that's all subliminal. That's all subjective. Sound and special effects. It's all subjective. I could think one movie is far superior in that category, and then somebody else would go with that. Or period dressing against futuristic dress. It is what it is. So we're going to choose a few categories that I think we're going are going to be more easier to predict, but not so much, because there's a lot going on with the Oscars right now. There is a lot of the betting sites that are doing their betting, and they are they've got a lot of the favorites and that sort of thing, and it's just one of those things where it's hard to know. This year, unlike last year, I had seen many of these films already, so I didn't really have to backtrack as much. Last year was just abysmal for movies, and I had to backtrack a whole lot, and then at some point I just stopped. But this year, a lot easier. Now, does it make the voting easier? No. There have been many leaks. There have been many different things that are happening in these award shows that are kind of making it very difficult to give a clearer picture. Um, the year prior, it was all over the place. There was nobody making any predictions because it was just downright, chaos where nobody had a clear favorite in any category. They were just throwing stuff against the wall. This year, at least there are clear favorites, but there's starting to be question marks toward the end here, and we'll get to that here. So we'll start with casting. Your choices are Hamnet, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, The Secret Agent, and Sinners. My choice will be Sinners. A great cast. I know One Battle After Another has a great cast as well. And right now, those are the two movies really battling it out for the top prize, really. Throughout the award season, it has been One Battle After Another or Sinners with the most wins at these award shows. And there has been a ton of award shows. I've only mentioned a few of the bigger ones because those are the ones that kind of give you that picture of the Oscar race. So, but I think Sinners, with some of the luck they've had recently in a lot of the award shows in the last couple of weeks, I think Sinners casting will get that done. Documentary short, all the empty rooms, armed only with a camera. Children no more. Where are they gone? The devil is busy, and perfectly a strangeness. So right now, the favorite in the clubhouse is All the Empty Rooms. My choice, and it's a tight race. It's really kind of neck and neck from what I've seen and what the odds makers are saying. Armed Only with a Camera was my choice for documentary short. This is about a guy who perished, covering the Ukraine wars. He was attacked on the streets, and he was gunned down in his car. And the whole emotional thing was just. And again, all these documentaries are definitely worthy. I just think that this one is right now very powerful in that what we're going through in these times right now. So I am going with Armed Only with a Camera. Live action short. Butcher Stain, A Friend of Dorothy, Jane Austen's period drama, The Singers, and two people exchanging saliva. So it's a two horse race really between The Singers and two people exchanging saliva. I'm choosing two people exchanging saliva. This is a live short where currency is no longer used. People buy things by getting slapped. Also, kissing is illegal anywhere in public. Or if you have known to be kissing anyone, husband, kids, that sort of thing, you get tossed in a cardboard box, taped up, and thrown into a ditch. It is crazy. It is a crazy, crazy film. But that is going to be my choice. It's wild. If you get a chance to see it, if you haven't seen it, I hope that does win. Animated short. Butterfly, Forever Green, The Girl Who Cried Pearls, Retirement Plans, and The Three Sisters. Now, I watched these with Austin, and he loved this one, and I'm gonna choose this one as my favorite as well. Forever Green. This is about a bear and a tree and their relationship, and the tree gives of himself to save a bear from a forest fire. It's really cute, and the girl with the who cried pearls is really creepy. It's stop motion, uh, animated, and just the figures are really creepy. But Retirement Plan was pretty funny. Um, you know, uh, but and Butterfly right now is the leader in the clubhouse for like favorite. So Butterfly tells of a young evacuee, Esther, has fled her war-torn country to Britain. Separated from family and unable to speak the language, her only solace is her love of dance. So there's there's a lot of things going on in this movie, all about, and it feels like the Nazi Germany, where uh, anybody who is you know is Jewish would be obviously rounded up and so on. She is dealing with this in all aspects of her life. Even though she went to Britain, she still wants to be, um, you know, a lot of things. And at every turn, she's getting turned around. And yeah, it's a good film. But I believe that's going to win. But my heart goes with Forever Green. I could be wrong on that, so that won't be too bad. Animated feature. We've got feature film. So we got Arco, Elio, K-pop Demon Hunters, Little Amelia, or the character of Rain, and Zootopia 2. My choice, obviously, is going to be what has been, everybody's choice is K-pop Demon Hunters. Now, what I found very interesting about this category is that Arco kind of moves in here at the very end when you had other movies that were nominated for Golden Globes and so on and so forth. But this hasn't even been close. K-pop Demon Hunters has been overwhelmingly the the critics' choice and everything's choice. So we'll see if there's an upset there, because right now it looks clearly like that. Again, it's not my choice for you know, it's pop. K-pop is not my thing. I'm a little too old for this. But if looking at it from the entirety of this category, K-pop Demon Hunters wins. Documentary feature. We've got the Alabama Solution, Come See Me in the Good Light, Cutting Through Rocks, Mr. Nobody Against Putin, and The Perfect Neighbor. All very good documentaries. Very good documentaries. Uh, just the just thinking about the Alabama Solution and what those prisoners went through. The only thing I questioned was their use of cell phones in this documentary, and actually through the whole system. But very interesting. And then, is Hollywood going to go for, um, a documentary film with a guy who thinks he, is neighbors with, you know, Putin? But Netflix's The Perfect Neighbor is absolutely my choice in this, and I believe it, from what I saw, is the favorite to win this one. So I'll definitely go chalk here. What a crazy documentary this is. If you haven't seen it, I definitely would recommend this one. International feature film. We have The Secret Agent from Brazil. It Was Just an Accident from France. Sentimental Value for Norway. Sarat for Spain. The Voice of Hind Rajib for Tanzania. Okay, my choice right now, and this is a close race, which to me doesn't feel like a close race, but The Secret Agent from Brazil has been winning everything. or at least won a lot during the early part of the award season. But as we're getting closer, sentimental value has actually been picking up some steam, and it's kind of closing the gap. This is going to be my choice because it's definitely not in the Best Picture, even close to being a winner for Best Picture. But international film, I'm going to go with sentimental value. I would not be surprised if Secret Agent wins, though, because it had a lot of momentum up until recently. So that was my choice. For adapted screenplay, we've got Begonia, Frankenstein, Hamnet, One Battle After Another, and Train Dreams. All very good movies, except for Hamnet. I don't know. But One Battle After Another is definitely my choice here. As much as I would love it to be Frankenstein, but I know that One Battle After Another has been winning so much. That's my choice. Although my heart really does say Frankenstein, but we know how that one goes. Original screenplay, Blue Moon, It Was Just an Accident, Marty Supreme, Sentimental Value, and Sinners. Well, you obviously know where I'm going with this, and I'm going with Sinners. I really think Sinners is going to get a lot of run here. I really do. And I'm hoping it does, because I thought by far and away it was the best picture of the year. I know people have been coming at me for One Battle After Another should be a winner. And obviously the award shows have Sinners and One Battle After Another basically just running neck and neck. So it will be interesting to see what we get for winners. All right, director. We have Shiloh Hu or Hamnet, Josh Safid for Marty Supreme, Paul Thomas Anderson, One Battle After Another, Joaquim Torre for Sentimental Value, and Ryan Coogler for Sinners. Basically, right now, Paul Thomas Anderson had been winning a lot of these, but like I said, recently it's kind of turned, and Ryan Coogler has been getting some positive run in this category. So, because I think Sinners is number one and should be number one, I'm going to go Ryan Coogler. Now, again, could be dead wrong, but I know a lot of people are going for Paul Thomas Anderson because he had been winning so much, and then Ryan Coogler has been winning recently in some of these award shows. So Ryan Coogler is my choice. Actress in a supporting role. This one has been a weird category, and I'll explain in a minute. But Ella Fanning for Sentimental Value, Igna Atsotora Lawless for Sentimental Value, Amy Madigan for Weapons, Wunlam Mosaka for Sinners, and Tiana Taylor for One Battle After Another. Now, this has been a weird category. Amy Madigan was Critics' Choice and the SAG Award winner for this category. Tiana Taylor was Golden Globe and the Producer Guild Awards. And then recently at the BAFTA Awards, Wanama Mosque had won for Sinners. Now, my choice is going to be, and I said this early on, and I said this when Weapons came out and I saw the movie. It should be Amy Madigan for Weapons. Would I be surprised if it's Tiana Taylor? No. But Amy Madigan has been my choice from the beginning. When she won the Critics' Choice, which was the first one out of the chute for the major awards show, I said, okay, good. SAG Awards, she wins it again. And again, like I said, no disrespect to Tiana Taylor, who won Golden Globe and PGA, um, and other award shows. But Amy and Tiana have been really, really back and forth, and I'm going to go with Amy. Although she is, she's not the favorite, but it's a really tight race. Tiana Taylor is the favorite. Okay, actress in a leading role. We've got Jessie Buckley for Hamnet, Rose Byrne for If I Had Legs I'd Kick You, Kate Hudson for Song Blue, Renee Rensby for Sentimental Value, and Emma Stone in Begonia. Very interesting category. There are plenty of women that got left off this list, and hard to. Well, maybe Kate Hudson would be the only one I would replace in this list and put somebody else in there from the other award shows. But here's my thing. Jessie Buckley has literally been winning everything at every award show. My gut feeling, and I really hope she wins, but I know she's not going to. That's why I'm going to take Jessie Buckley to be on the safe side. But Rose Byrne in If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You is so amazing. I really want to pick her in this, but I may bet on Rose Byrne because she's got a lot of good odds from DraftKings. Would I be mad about it? No. But Jessie Buckley seems to be the safe one out of this list. And again, I don't know. Like Hamnet was critically, acclaimed and whatnot, and then you look at some of these categories, and Hamnet is not listed in a lot of these categories. So, is it really that good? It's kind of hard. I don't think it is, but that's beside the point. Okay, now we have actor in the supporting role. We got Benicio del Toro in One Battle After Another. We have Jacob Lordery for Frankenstein. We have Delroy Lindo for Sinners. Sean Penn, One Battle After Another. Stellan Skarsgård for Sentimental Value. Now, this is a crazy category as well. The supporting role. So we've got Jacob Lordery, who won for Critics' Choice. We have Sean Penn, who won the SAG. Stellan Skarsgård won Golden Globe. Delroy Lindo wound up in this category, and I don't know where he came from because in most of these award shows, he wasn't listed. And then recently, Sean Penn won the Producers Guild won. Stellan Skarsgård won. The BAFTA won. So my choice, my heart would say Stellan Skarsgård, but I think voting-wise would be Sean Penn. I think he wins. So yes, see, I'm giving love to One Battle After Another. Okay, even though Jacob Lordery probably, but he got his acclaim for from the Critics' Choice. I really thought he did a great job with The Monster. Actor in a leading category: Timothée Chalamet, Marty Supreme, Leonardo DiCaprio. One Battle After Another. Ethan Hawke, Blue Moon, Michael B. Jordan, Sinners, and Wagner Moreau for The Secret Agent. Now, Timothée Chalamet has been cleaning up. He had won at the Critics' Choice. He had won at Golden Globes. He also won a recent PGA one, Producers Guild, not the golfing one. But recently, Michael B. Jordan has been getting some love. The BAFTA Award and SAG. Wagner Moreau also got a Golden Globe win as well. My heart says Michael B. Jordan because he played two characters, and Sinners was a great movie. However, I think this is the year for Timothée Chalamet. I really do. So I'm going to go with him. I really think he is right now a heavy favorite over Leonardo DiCaprio, who has not won any of the award shows. He has not been the leading actor in any of these award shows. So why is DiCaprio a favorite over, or is second, and Jordan is third on this list? It's a tight race, according to the numbers, but I really do think Chalamet's time. I know he missed out last year when people were like, "Ooh, I thought it was his time." I do think it's his time this year, and so I'm hoping for that. Here we go, Best Picture. We've got Begonia, F1. Look, I'm sorry, I still have many questions as to who put this on the list. I really do. I'm so beyond, like, my head hurts thinking about F1 being in this category. Frankenstein, Hamnet, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, Secret Agent, Sentimental Value, Sinners, and Train Dreams. Look, Heart of Dynamite, I could list a whole bunch of movies that should be on this list. Black Bag was another one. And I'm surprised that there wasn't more love for Michael Fassbender in that one. I really thought it was one of the better pictures of the year. I thought maybe he was going to get a nomination. But again, you can only have so many people get votes and nominations. But again, F1 being in it wasn't even listed in a lot of the categories for the other award shows. So I don't know. I mean, Avatar had been listed in most of the other ones. Didn't get a nomination here for Oscar. Wicked, for Good, also got Best Picture noms and some of the other award shows. Nothing here, even though it was terrible. And maybe that's why I didn't get an Oscar, or an Oscar nom. But F1, come on now. Like I said, Heart of Dynamite was so much better. Heart of Dynamite, I do feel bad for Catherine Bigelow. I think that should have gotten a lot of love, but maybe because subject matter, I don't know. Frankenstein was also another Netflix, really good movie. Wake Up Dead Man could have been on here. Again, Netflix hit home runs with those. Weapons could have been on there. Weapons was 100% Rotten Tomatoes. It could have been on that list. But whatever. Well, you know what my pick is for Best Picture? It's Sinners. Number one. I don't even think it's a question. I know One Battle After Another is the favorite in this category, but recent turn of events has put Sinners back on the list. That's my choice. And it has been since the beginning when I saw Sinners. And again, nothing against One Battle After Another. I don't think it's a great film. I think it's a good film. I've said this before. I would choose Frankenstein over that. Even Marty Supreme, maybe. Begonia, no. As much as I love Emma Stone, I just Sentimental Value and The Secret Agent. Those are international films. Whatever. Train Dreams was good too, but I would probably take One Battle After Another after that one. So, all right. So there are your Oscar and Razzie predictions. I really hope that I do well with it, but again, there's a lot out there to digest. But the one thing we can always count on is movies being made, whether we like them or not. Again, there's some movies that should not be made, of course, and then there are some movies that just blow you away, and that is the beauty of Hollywood. for better or worse. Alright, that is it, folks. I will see you all at the movies.
You like that, baby? Let him know where that came from, yeah!
See you next time. Bye.
Waiting for you. Goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Hasta la vista, baby.
That's all, folks.